Good day, fellow rakes and duchesses and viscountess and viscounts. Anyways, today I'm talking about Bridgerton because I have thoughts on it. And I've seen it twice now, once alone and then once with my roommate. Well, we have like one more episode left, but basically the last episode is just like whatever. So I'm talking about Bridgerton today. It's gonna be a little rant, review, rave, discuss, question mark. I don't know, I have mixed feelings about it, as I think you should have about things. I'm not in one boat unless it's, you know, Tenet, hate Tenet. Anyways, so that's what we're gonna do because I woke up today, it was raining. And while cleaning my room, I was just thinking about Bridgerton. So we're gonna talk about it. Anyways, Bridgerton. Well, let me start with the things I liked about... Could've sworn I had someone in the house. Shit. Well, let me start with the things I like about the show. Simon obviously is wow. I mean, wow. So that's one part of the show that I like. Okay, the costumes I think were so fun to look at. I liked looking at everyone's costumes. I don't know what that's for later. This is things I liked only. So I like the costumes, most of them. I like Lady Danbury. Love her. I like that the Bridgerton family seems close. Like they do feel like they actually like each other, you know? There's a great many things I like. I like that there's like the slow burn fan fiction-y aspects of the show. I like how it's kind of exactly what I needed. It's kind of exactly what I needed in this time. And in many ways it is the perfect show. If I like turn off my brain. Like when I turn my brain off and I'm like, I just want to look at something that reminds me of like reading fan fiction or sneaking away into the like romance section at the bookstore, like I'm gonna watch Bridgerton. And I'm debating reading the books, but I think because it's like a historical fiction and all the characters are supposed to be white in the books, which I'll get to later, I just feel like they're gonna have these like weird descriptions of like alabaster skin, plump pink lips against a creamy background of skin, piercing blue eyes, and like all that shit. And I don't have the mental energy, or I do, I just don't want to use it like reimagining characters or like hanging on so tight to the fact that like, no, Simon is a black man when he was like raised as a white man. So I think I'm gonna stick to the books, and then if our kind of our own wants to like pop up and write some stories, girl, I'm not gonna fight you. I will read them. Sorry, this video is gonna take some time because I just woke up. So I'm drinking my morning tea and just really feeling what I wanna say. Here's the thing about Bridgerton. As soon as Daphne and Simon get, okay, spoilers, there's gonna be spoilers. That's just last warning. Spoiler. As soon as Simon and Daphne get married, the show's over. The show is literally over. Because I mean, more things happen, but it really does feel like when, I don't know if anyone here reads fan fiction, and I'm not saying that I ever have. I've never even heard of it. I actually don't even know where that word came up. But if I were to have experience with fan fiction and reading fan fiction, it hits that like point in every story, every fic, you know, where the characters get together, or like the slow burn is played out, and like the enemy's lover thing is fulfilled, and then it's just like you just feel like you're spinning out, or you just feel like, okay, now there's just like plot happening for the sake of continuing a story, and it gets old. I also think because the story really, like the first season at least, really starts framed as like Daphne Bridgerton's story. Like when she kind of goes away and is not as central to the show, it just feels like, shit's getting made up about all the other characters, you know, like just, oh, well, Daphne has left now, so here it was just so sudden too. It was just so sudden what happened. And yeah, like I get why it happened, right? Because Simon and her like kissed in the woods, which fair enough. And I guess I am watching it through my lens of modern understanding of things, but I don't know. It's just kind of like, am I supposed to find this romantic? I mean, the first time I watched it, I was so swept up in it. I was like, yes, oh my God, Simon. But like, watching it with people made me realize this show is like not really making the points it's making. Or like, I'm just paying I can see different things now, like upon a second viewing. But yeah, it happened so quickly. It was so unremarkable. And also, I know this is a trope. I know that like for this trope between Simon and Daphne to play out, it has to be a certain way, but the lack of communication for me, like why, I absolutely hate when people are like, I just said what I thought you wanted me to say. I said what I thought I needed to say. Like, it just gets so tiring. The one, like I think there's like an A and a B section to the season. In the B section, the thing between Daphne and Simon is that because the homegirl doesn't know what cum is, she doesn't know how babies are made. And Simon tells her like, I cannot give you children, because he like literally killed his dad. He basically, did he kill his dad? I feel like he killed his dad. Cause he said what he said. He was like, speak, you fucking monster. And then his dad died. I don't wanna laugh though. But I'm gonna get into dad a little bit later. So because Simon made the vow to his dad, like, I will not have children because like literally his dad abused him. He told him that. He tells Daphne, I cannot give you children, which fair enough. But he's also like, I want you to be happy. And I guess they don't have therapists back then, so like, what am I even expecting? Well, they had the boys club, they had gentlemen's drinks and stuff. He could have talked to his friend Anthony. When Daphne finally is like, oh shit, like you be coming though, so we can have kids, which is, ooh, wow, it's the way she doesn't know shit that is so concerning. And just like, does it hurt when you do that? And she basically like entrapped him, or tried to, by like getting pregnant intentionally, which was an interesting move on her end. But also I get it. I'm like I'm talking around the point. Anyways, when Simon and Daphne have that conflict of over like him having kids or not, she is like, this stupid vow, blah, 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 like you lied and you're a fucking liar, the whole relationship's a lie, blah, blah, blah. And then he tries to explain and she won't let him. I hate that. I hate. Because this is really something that if they'd had a conversation about anything, it would be fine. Like if they just talked and he was like, oh, you know, my dad literally pretended I was dead for my entire life, and then only when it served him was like, my son, I'm proud of you. But you know, like he literally traumatized me, had no relationship to him. So like him being the dude cost me my childhood, and I have vowed to never let that cycle repeat. I feel like if I were Daphne, if I would be hurt, but I would understand. And I would also think about the fact that if I literally did not marry this guy, I would have to marry the other dude, that gross, nasty son of a bitch. And I kind of was like, hey, because this man was trying to kill himself. That's also what I don't get. Like, these dudes were really ready to die. Anthony and Simon were ready to die over some trivial, not trivial, like his sister's honor, but I don't know what it is about this show. Like, it just kind of pisses me off. I wish that they picked a direction to go in about things, because some parts of the show feel so antiquated. Like Anthony having a whole conniption over like controlling everyone, and even his mother, which is, I'm sure, like of the times. No, I don't even care. It's a work of fiction. I'm judging it by my standards. Anthony's having this whole fucking fit about his mom and stuff. And my problem is like, they just were supposed to like him still. So they give him these like redemptive actions to perform within the show, which I feel like is just confusing, because on paper, honestly, like I don't like Anthony. I don't like him. And he was only like kind of attractive. It still got me though. I don't like him. He sucks. Like, he's a micromanager and he's awful. And I think the reason it pairs so poorly in the show is because there is no like common, it doesn't feel like there's mutual ground with any of the characters about what is supposed to happen and like what everyone's role is in society. Because we have Daphne and Eloise, especially Eloise. Oh my God, that girl, I'm gonna get to her. Spewing all this like, as a woman, my role is to get married, and it's so hard to have your life reduced to like anything other than, and it's like, oh, okay, but also, isn't this literally all you know? Is this not literally all you know? And especially like, if you don't even know what sex is, you're gonna, am I supposed to really believe you're a feminist? I mean, it could happen, but there's so much that they just both don't know about anything to then like walk around talking about like what women should do, like what they want, their hopes. It's like, you don't even know like everything about your personal life currently. I mean, I also don't know how old they are. I feel like they're supposed to be pretty young, but like, I guess Daphne's like 18. Like, when do you present to the public? People got married like hella young. But yeah, I just don't like, I did not like that. I mean, were there feminists back then? Oh, obviously, 100%. Or maybe not, who knows? I wasn't there. But I just hate the like, oh my God, this is not, you're not a person because you hate your circumstances. Like, everyone is gonna hate something about their life, always. But that can't be someone's entire characterization. And especially with Eloise, or Eloise, whatever. I was trying to say with the accent until I figure it out. Especially with her, she's like fucking stupid as fuck. I drank my little tea bag thing. And she's so entitled, like to be like, I am your master, I'm your mistress. So basically you should listen to me after breaking into someone's room. Like, I know poor people didn't have rights back then, and I guess they still don't even have rights now, which is a problem. But seriously, like, and for the queen to hide, like, what actually does she know? None of the information she ever comes up with is her own. Like, literally nothing she ever presents as like something I've investigated is something she's come up with. Like, it's not a conclusion that she's ever drawn. It's like, oh, waitstaff said that they don't have time, so we all must know. Like, you were going in the wrong direction, not way, you. You don't know shit, girl. Like, she doesn't know anything. It's actually some, or even like the whole like talking about who must have known, like about Marie. That was like Penn. Like, that conclusion just, it never comes from anywhere. It's never real. I also love that in the whole scandal of like this poor girl getting pregnant, the real harm that was done was Lady Whistledown slandering the Featherington family. Like, that was the real, we must right the damage of you getting slandered by your own hand, really. Now that we all know who Miss Whistledown is, Penelope, which makes no fucking sense. This girl doesn't know what sex is, right? Wasn't she like, how do you come to be with child? And then writing all this shit in the town's paper. When does she find the time? She's always running around at all these events, seemingly, I guess, okay, for the show's sake, they can't like have us seeing her working. But for real. Also, when Eloise looks like she's about to die upon finding out that upon coming to her own made up conclusions that it's Madame de la Croix, who, do we know why she's French / not? Do we know these things? We don't? Great. Awesome. Now I'm gonna get into like a more nuanced discussion about the show. So, okay. Simon's father, I'm presuming is like, because black people became people when the queen married the king, which is, I'm guessing, like within like Simon and Daphne's parents' lifetimes. Like, it's because they're all kind of the same age. Here's my question. Okay, also, did they imply, real quick before did they imply that Simon's boxer friend's father was an escaped slave? Anyways, I heard that and I'm unhearing it. That is But it also is when it goes to show like how disgusting white people can really get when they get mad at black people for not doing what they want, or like anyone that's not white for doing what they want. Like they'll really come and dredge up the worst shit. They'll be like, oh well, at least I'm not picking your and it's like, ooh, like that was there was so many more things you could have roasted this man about. And also, if Mr. Featherington had gone and been like, hey, I need help, my family's in a situation. But instead he like is walking around trying to be all boastful and prideful and threat and brings up slavery, I'm guessing. And then is like, actually, I'm in trouble. But if I just communicated, you know, it could have been so much easier. I think this show taught me like, I really am gonna need television when people communicate, because there's a lot of things to have conflict about in life that does not have to involve, you know, like being the fucking worst at something. Anyways, so the queen marries the king and that's how racism goes away, but there's all people of all races. So I want to know when it just became agreed upon. Also, like, to the point where people are like so comfortable in their lives, there's no dynamics, like no tension really, like what? Like how? They literally didn't have to explain it too. I just thought it was like a cool alternate universe where it's like, oh awesome, like there's just no racism. But then they explain it this way and it's like, okay, so you're telling me people were just given titles, which I actually think is a great way to implement, like if you want to change, they were literally given like some form of reparations. They were like, okay, cool, like we got here off your back, so like let's just bring y'all up and we can just start, you know, the inner workings. So they're given titles. But then, and I'm supposed to believe that like why would the Bridgertons actually be okay with a marriage between Daphne and Simon? Like if you were just recently subjugating a whole class of people, why would you like, what was the turnaround? No unrest, nothing. I mean, awesome. But the society can't be that stable. It just would not be that stable. It's like if you're going to make it about how race relations have recently changed, be real about it. Like it's not just gonna be like, awesome, okay, pip pip cheerio. I do want to work and implement the systems that oppressed me. Also Simon and Daphne are landlords. The show really had me over landlords. I hate landlords. Everything about these people I don't like. Like I don't like everything about them. Like the trappings of their life of like these positions of power, like being a viscount or a duke or a duchess or viscountess. It's like y'all don't do shit. Daphne talks about being the mistress of a home. It's like, girl, you don't do anything. You walk around and try to be nice to people. You're like, oh, the subjects. You have so much shit. Like, don't you think they like looked around? They're like, we can afford not to charge them anything for a year or so. Also, why is it a contest that affords the contracts? Like, why was the town so happy with that outcome when wouldn't the other two farmers just be in as much of a shitty position as they were before? Like, who cares? But yeah, circling back finally to Simon's dad. So Simon's dad, we can assume, was just given this role. But I mean, I wish the show had done more if they were gonna do this to explore the incredible pressures on Simon's dad that led him to behave a certain way. Because out of context completely, like, no, that is like never do that to your child. I don't think even then he should have done it to his child. But I mean, I wish that they had painted this just like done more for this character. I think that it does more harm than good to portray abusers as like all one thing, or victims of crimes as all one thing, because they're not. Like, people are just people, and when the stars align or like the situations are in such a way, like things happen, and sometimes they're terrible things, but it doesn't erase someone's humanity. Like, I can see so much how someone in his position could look around and like and feel like they have so much to lose, you know, because literally racism was happening to them yesterday. Now all of a sudden he's like, I've been given a seat of power. Like, if I fuck it up, like, it's over for us. Could have been interesting. I would have loved to see Bridgerton, but from like other people's perspectives, because I swear that those people are not living real life. The Bridgerton, like the coming out, all the galas. I don't even want to pretend I think that Daphne's a good person, because you're so fucking rich and people are obviously so fucking poor, and you don't do anything. you don't do anything. I mean, thanks for humanizing them, but like, I feel like we've humanized these people more than enough and romanticized everything about their life. Penelope annoys me. Like, I understand, girl, you have a crush, but like, what of Colin? What of Colin? What of Colin? Eloise, check your friend. She pick me. Check her, check her, check her. Oh, literally would throw a woman under the bus, destroy her life over a boy who has never looked at you twice. Would destroy someone's life over a boy who has never looked at you twice. That's demented. Demented. Like, girl, you have bigger things. Like, get your mom to stop buying you those ugly ass dresses. Also, he danced with you one time to be nice because someone was a bitch to you. He's not in love with you. Oh. When Colin told Marina, like, I would have said yes if you just asked. Why did she have to suffer? Has she not suffered? She's the only character. Not the only one, but like, she suffered. Like, she suffered. Why? Why must this black woman suffer like that? Like, Penelope suffered over Colin not liking her. Eloise suffered over the fact that, like, she's a feminist or whatever. I mean, Daphne suffered because she didn't know what cum was. No, but she actually, like, low-key suffered because her brother literally sold her. That's also what I don't get. Like, her brother came, ruined everything, and then, I really, so irritating. Anthony is so irritating. And love, damn, I might actually hate Bridgerton. It was just so nice to look at. The show was so nice to look at, but no. We have evolved as a society past the point for shows like that. Like, we don't need shows like this. We don't need shows like this. I love the artist and his wife. I love that they had a mutual agreement. They're like, she's like, I'ma be fucking and you do you. I love that. Love. I also love when he was like talking to Benedict and was like, you like think you're unconventional. I actually, like, you know, I'm like living under a threat constantly to just feel and be happy. And Anthony wants to like be an autist. Anthony's like, I'm struggling so much. Like, I just want to draw. I'm so different than my brother. I'm exactly the same as Anthony. I'm going to go get with the courtesan. What's with the Madame de la Croix and the singer, the opera singer? Like, what rank of, are they like upper middle class, business owners, feminine girl bosses? They're girl bosses. That's kind of all I have. The queen, you know what, actually, I can't even be mad at her. I can't even, if I were in her position of power, I would be so bored and I would do stupid shit like that too. So I actually fuck with the queen. Because they must have been so goddamn bored doing their whole Bridgerton lifestyle mess. Here are a couple other things I thought about watching the show. So smelly, must have been so smelly. I think we're gonna come back to a time where people get to make their makeup. Like when she was mixing the blush, I was like, I would actually have so much fun doing makeup like that, mixing powders and picking my colors. So I'm calling it now. Makeup brands are gonna start doing, like, they're going to start doing that. And if a makeup brand does this, I'm going to sue you. You can mix and match and that'd be so fun. Oh my god, I would love that. Like a little like kit. Okay, brands, you heard it here first. Let's go back to doing makeup like they did in 1813 London. All the fabrics, like the costumes are so pretty, but a lot of the fabrics look so uncomfortable. I have to wonder, like, did the actors get sweaty and I just felt so sweaty watching them. It made me something about theater and like stage stuff, and when you wear costumes like that, they're just kind of like hard. I don't know how to explain it, but I feel like I get like weirdly sweaty in them. Ooh, I drank my tea so fast. Yeah, so that was something else I thought about. Oh my god, whoever styled Eloise should be fired. Just kidding, don't be fired, but why do you put her in these like uncomfortable ass costumes? Also the bang, never want to say tiny bang again. Not like that. It was just made Daphne feel like a child, and then To have Daphne not know what cum is, then to be having sex, I was like, this just like not sit right with me. Like this is, and I was like, what is actually so appealing about someone? Like, are these people so attracted to her because she's like untouched and doesn't know it? Like, that's just, whew, it gives me the heebie-jeebs. It gives me the heebie-jeebies, actually. Also, why was Daphne's hair like always that like curly ponytail, or like some like, when everyone else had these like really nice elegant updos that made him look older, I would expect that she wouldn't look like a kid. Also, what, how do you live in a house as big as the Cliveden? Oh, what'd that mean? How'd that work? How'd that work? We'll never know. Also, if I could go back in time, I would go back to then. I would go into that room, the meeting with the boxer. I would cut myself into the deal, probably given like $20, like $100, maybe I'll do like $300 now, but then hoard that, put it in an offshore account, open the account with interest, and that's called wealth. It's super easy. LLC Twitter's all over it. Get a time machine, travel back in time, invest, come back to the future after your investments have bore fruit. Will that change the entire path of my life? Anyways, just some thoughts on Bridgerton. Not really organized, but there. I might talk about Tiny Pretty Things next because I actually scripted something about that. Because that show was, I don't know what Netflix is on, but they do athlete in turmoil like no one else. I might just do like a video dedicated to shows about athletes in turmoil on Netflix, specifically like girls anywhere from 16 to 22. Netflix hates them and will literally put them through the ringer and then fix it by giving them a boy. Anyways, I'm gonna go make some more tea, and yeah, thanks for tuning into this video. I also recorded another video earlier where I reacted to the cut video I was in, because yes, fun fact, I was in a cut video. And so I think I'm gonna put some out first though, because picture in picture is kicking my ass right now, guys. It's kicking my ass. I don't know how I'm gonna get the whole cut video. I don't really have editing software on my computer that I understand how to use. Windows. Life can be hard sometimes, but anyways, thanks for joining me, and enjoy the rest of your day, week, life, year.